Yep, you heard right, y'all. This Thursday, the King's Court podcast got a brand new episode, and we want y'all to tune in and join us. Name of the episode: New Year. Who this? We'll see y'all Thursday. Bye.
And guess what? It is Thursday finally. Okay. Welcome to the first edition of the King's Court for 2024. As y'all see, the title is New Year, Who This? But before I get into it, my name is Tatum. Let my co-hosts introduce themselves.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Courtney. Back at it again.
Yo, what up? It's Ant, also known as Playoff Mode Tone on Twitter.
What's up, y'all? This your boy Dontario Moore, aka Don the Kingpin. What's going on? What's happening, my kings and queens? How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing all right. Excited to be back talking to y'all.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my boy Ant too for this topic. As you see, the title is New Year, Who This? The topic came from basically we're 25 days into the new year, so know a lot of y'all in the chat. If you had New Year's resolutions, drop them in the chat. Did you stick with them at this point of the year, or are you still trying to figure your way out? Or is it one of those things that is necessary at this point in your life to do it at the top of the year? But I'm gonna let y'all talk about how y'all feel about the New Year's resolutions or the mindset, and I mean when y'all ready for me too.
Well, I don't know about nobody else, but first quarter for me been a little rocky. A little shaky. But
it's hard to get back into the swing of it after you done had a break, or I know I took like the last week of the year off and like adjusting to being back to work and just the requirements of what you have to do on a daily basis. It can be hard trying to catch back up with that.
Yeah, man. I'm with everybody else, man. It's been a process. It's been a process. Life has been lifing, as I would say. But just striving, taking it day by day, being the best me that I can be, and that's all I can do, man. That's all we all can do.
Yes, sir. I also say that it's been an adjustment period, but I will say the one thing when you thinking about the new year, who this motto is mainly for me, I would say each year brings its new challenges, because once you get to the end of December, you like, this was where it started the year, how the year started off. This is how we got to the middle of the year. And man, I made it to this at the end of the year. So it's like, once you hit that next year, I think I don't personally make resolutions, but I will say that you go into each year like, how do I want to do this better than last year? Because I think it's also comes down to, do you put a time frame on your New Year's resolution? Because some people will come in saying, hey, I'm gonna do a New Year's resolution. It got to be done by the end of January, and you do not touch it by the end of January. I think if you're gonna make a New Year's resolution, it should be one of those things where it's like, this should be my end of the year goal, not so much my 1 week or 1 month, or maybe that's kind of how I look at things. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. What y'all think?
I mean, I'm not really a big resolutions person, to be honest with you. I feel like when it comes to resolutions, and I mean, I get the concept. It's like, new year, you want to set new goals and all of that. And that's great. I don't take away from that. But I just feel like when it comes to resolutions, it's like at any point in the year, you can see where you need to tighten up on something. I'm not going to wait until the new year to fix something that I could start fixing right when I realize it's a problem. Mm-hmm. Or, if I see my weight is doing something weird and I want to change it, why would I wait until a new year to be like, okay, this year I'm going to do? No, I got to do it now. A big reason behind that is because, man, tomorrow's not promised. Yeah. The next second, and the way the world going now, the next second is not promised. So it's like, we can't afford to wait. You know what I'm saying? Not anymore. So it's like, that's why I'm really not big on it. Again, I don't knock it for those who do it. I think to each his own. I respect and support everybody's resolutions, but I'm just not really big on it. I would rather make the adjustment if it's in summer, I'm gonna make the adjustment in summer, or try to at least.
No, 100%. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. So like I'm not necessarily big on it, but I there's a mental side to it where it's like, the new year is rolling around. So it's like identifying the areas that I want to be better in, or like the major changes that I need to make in my life. And I think it's really easy when you're living life day to day. It's like, I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but especially since COVID, I feel like time passes so quickly now. And it's like you'll try to map things out and then you'll blink. And it's like, once you kind of hit Halloween, like Halloween rolls into Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving rolls into Christmas, and the year is over after that. So like I that does resonate with me a little bit. Now, I mean, like Court said, it's like I feel like when you recognize something that you can't procrastinate on, there's certain things you can't procrastinate on, especially like things that have a great bearing on your life, like your personal health, like your finance, what you're doing, how you're doing financially. Those are things that you can't like. Oh man, I'm just gonna put that off to the side because you literally can't afford to. You can't play around with your health. You can't play around with your finances either. So yeah, but there are smaller things where I'm like, hey, I can put this off, for a little bit, and then like start to focus on it once the new year gets here.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what both Courtney and Ant said, yeah, I'm a bit procrastinator myself, and it's really a habit that I am currently trying to get rid of, because I don't want to be in a position where I really need to get something done and I'm just putting it off, keep putting it off, keep putting it off, thinking that I got time. And like Courtney was saying, every day is not promised, every second is not promised. So time is one of those things that you'll never get back. So while we have the time to really get into what we need to work on, then we need to just work on it, because you don't want to be looking 10, 20, 30 years from now and saying, dang, I wish I would have did this. Dang, I wish I would have did that. It's like, do it now. Like, why you want to take the whole year off and then next year you trying to restart something that you could have started right then and there? So for me personally, I mean, I used to be a big person on resolutions, but nowadays I don't even make resolutions. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna do something different than I did last year. But it's one thing, two things. Just work on it, because I am of the belief that it's easy to start something than to keep it up. Because once you start something, it's easy to start something, but the work begins when you're trying to maintain something. Because
Consistency.
when you've always built the habit of doing something and you trying to build another habit of doing something that the opposite, that's going to be hard, because there's a lot of dismantling going on and then you're starting a new habit. So I'm not really big on resolution. Like Courtney said, I'm not knocking anybody who makes resolution for themselves, but I'm of the belief that when you make a resolution, it does not mean it's gonna make a full 180 overnight. Because that's the mindset I used to have. Oh, I make a resolution, 25 hours later, it's gonna happen. And life don't work that way. We got to be real about this. Life does not work that way. So it's going to take time for you to, for example, lose weight. It's going to take time for you to find another career. It's going to take time for you to build another habit. So everything takes time. And this is what this year has taught me the most, is that, done, take your time, be you. Be you. Don't worry about how it's gonna happen. Don't worry about when it's gonna happen. Just continue to be you. Continue to work on the things that you need to work on, and in time, in God's timing, it's gonna happen. It'll manifest. So, that's my viewpoint on resolutions.
I definitely love what all of y'all said. I got a question. This actually a guy from our man league, Finley checking. He said, "What are some of the toughest challenges you set for yourself? And at what point in the year do you say, dang, I didn't do this?" I'm gonna actually I'm gonna piggyback off of what Don said just a second ago about the whole weight loss thing. I will tell you, for me, the biggest thing is that I'm trying to get better at is stay consistent with the whole exercise thing. Because the one thing that, and I'm sure there's people that are in the comments that are watching that can relate to this. The biggest thing is it's not even so much of getting started with it, but when you sometimes allow life, like work, I'm tired from coming from work, or I have to do this, and maybe I can do this. Once you start pushing certain things off like that, it becomes a challenge. And then later you're like, okay, I should have did this at the top of the year. But then you see this person that may have started on a journey at the same time as you, and they were killing it, and you start at the same time. So I think that's one of the things I can say for myself that I set. But I will say that another one has been finishing my psychology degree, but I actually am close to finishing it, because the ultimate thing is this. Sometimes you have to program your mind to say it's a long trail ahead. You can't go on. One thing about school, and I know y'all three can understand this as well, is you don't have the option so much. It's sometimes you have the option to speed your process up, but not often. You know that you have a set thing, that you have a set date to graduate. That goes for high school, that goes for college and everything. So you can't rush the process in that particular thing. You have to go step by step by step to get to the accomplishment. So I would say those are my two things.
Whew, I don't even know where to start. Two things I said I was going to do last year that I did not do. That's on my list for this year. So first thing was saving X amount of dollars, right? And he said, "At what point of the year did you realize you didn't do it?" When my bank account said I didn't have it. I realized it instantly. Courtney, you failed. You didn't do that. You're supposed to have X amount of dollars. It's not there. So that was one. And the second one was, I'm actually in the middle of writing a book. And I set a deadline for December 31st. And December 31st got here, and I realized the book wasn't done. Still writing. Now, the good news is I have not given up. I'm still writing, but for those of y'all who don't know, I wear a lot of hats. I work at a law firm. I teach college. I'm a parent. I do outreach at my church. So my life is literally nonstop. So, all of my extracurriculars are literally, they get like 5 to 10 minutes of my time a day, because I don't even have a lot of self-time. But, I said that this year I'm not making excuses. Like, I have to make the time to finish what I started. So I'm going to do it. But that was my two toughest.
I'm with you right there, Courtney. I told myself last year, one of the challenges that I set for myself last year was saving. Did not do a good job at that, And then for me personally, and one of the things that I said I was going to do was, elevate my relationship with God. Because for me coming from a holiness background, all we knew is get saved or go to hell.
Jesus.
You ain't lying.
That's an inside joke, y'all. That's an inside joke. But yeah, we never, growing up, I never knew about, you can talk to God like you talk to somebody else. And I was like, what? I can do that? So I've been, I'm doing that, and we just have a conversation, and many people don't know that you can actually have a conversation with God. And that's one of the things I've been striving to do. So I did get one of those two things accomplished, and now I'm working on this second one, which is save more money. And that's one thing I have been working on, is saving money. If it's not a want, well, if it's a want, then I save up for it. If it's a need, then I still save up for it, whether it was a want or a need. So I'm being more selective and being more wise with my spending. If it's not a need right now, okay, don't buy it. If I want it, okay, done. Just save up for it. It's not like it's gonna go anywhere. Just save up for it. And when you get the money for it, just buy it. Then there you go. You didn't have to deplete your whole bank account to get it done, and keep it moving. So that's been some of the challenges that I've set myself for this year.
Yeah, for me, just being more diligent, with what Nate said, like as far as trying to live a healthier lifestyle. So,
I'm
like,
still working on that.
yeah. So, like making sure I hit the gym a couple of times a week. Making better choices with what I eat, trying not to eat out so much or order food so much, which is, it can be difficult. But
Very.
Very.
but then also too, just like being in the moment more. And what I mean by that is just like getting out of my head and just enjoying what I have, enjoying life. Like Courtney said, it's like, tomorrow's not promised to you, obviously. So, not doing things because of all the other external factors and just focusing on enjoying life more, really. So.
Yeah.
I love what every one of y'all said. And I do agree with y'all with the saving because I think everybody that's tuned in, us four, we all set that saving goal because I actually have a guy at my job. He always talks to me about, I started saving this in the 90s and then in 2022. So it's good to hear you like, man, I'm going to do that. And then they go that one thing you want to go get. And then there goes the two things. And you like, man, all right, next paycheck. All right, maybe 2 months down the road, 4 months down the road. So it definitely comes with the discipline and consistency on that big top as well, for sure. The other comment was going on. My boy Tyreek, he said, me personally, the new year is like a checkpoint, making sure I'm consistent with being consistent. I love this.
Good.
Yeah, that's real good. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. If there's one thing that's tough to work on, is that consistency, because it be many things, including ourselves, that get in the way of being consistent with what we need to do, and thinking that, we can just, it's okay, I ain't do it today, I can just do it tomorrow. Whoa. Like, I was about to say, what happened?
I thought he was coming back. I was finna get up out of here. I thought that trumpet was finna go. I was finna get up out of here.
Well, yeah. But consistency is it's a challenge to work on, because like I was saying before, when you're trying to build new habits for yourself, and you got to get rid of those old habits, it's like getting rid of that old coffee mug that you need to get rid of, that you've been keeping all your life, that you need to get rid of. Just throw it away. And make room for something else. So that's what life brings at you. It brings you an opportunity to evaluate yourself and to look at yourself and say, you know what, I can do this better, I can do that better. And it shouldn't have to take a new year to do that. You can do that anytime. Anytime.
And people, real quick, people have to understand too, it's like, just because like you fall off the wagon on something, like you made a conscious decision, like, hey, I'm going to do this, and you're trying to be consistent with it, but you end up breaking down and either not hitting the gym for like a week or something like that, and we get so down on ourselves that it's like, man, like I missed a week, like, and then a week turns into 2 or 3 weeks, and it's like, nah, I'm done with it. I'm gonna try again later. And then later ends up turning into next year. Ends up turning to another New Year's resolution. And so, like, we have to understand that it's okay to not be perfect and to make mistakes, and to be able to circle back and get back on track with something that you've been trying to focus on doing in your life. So
yeah, I was gonna say that just throwing it out there to help. And I mean, this is touch and go too, but what has helped me with consistency is setting alarms, surprisingly. Like, for example, I have to force myself to like make time for myself, to hold space for myself. So I set an alarm. It goes off every day at a certain time, and it says me time. That's the name of the alarm, me time. And so, sometimes I fail, because I'm in the moment, I'm busy, and I'm like, well, I don't have time. But it's hard to look at an alarm and be like, I don't have time for me. You know what I'm saying? So that makes you, it kind of makes you stop to be like, nah, like I need to do this, I need to hold this space. So just wanted to throw that out there in case anybody else struggles with consistency on something. I encourage you, set an alarm. Like I said, you won't be perfect with it, but it will definitely help you to stay consistent and set it for the same time every day. I think somebody said it takes like 21 days to create a habit. So if you can do something consistently at the same time every day for 21 days, it just kind of naturally becomes a routine part of your life.
I agree with that. And the one thing I want to add before I hit the next comment is just to piggyback on what all three of you said, because it kind of ties into each other. Make sure that when you're out here participating in different things and enjoying your life, like with Court, she does multiple things. It gives you a chance to establish some type of consistency, and it gives you a sense of importance because by a particular time you have to reach a certain level. So that also creates consistency. That also creates a standard for yourself because, for example, when you are mentoring, when you're working in school, when you're doing a particular thing and you set a deadline, in your head, I got to reach this deadline. I got to do what it takes. Even if I set this period of time out to reach this goal, I got to make this happen. So sometimes being active out here allows you to establish those things to tie back into your New Year's resolution. So I definitely, that's one thing that you can really look into as you take this journey in life, because it's a step-by-step process for sure. And let me hit this next comment. Tevin, what's going on, my boy? This is one of my good friends here out here. He said 2023 broke me down to absolutely nothing to show me who my real friends are. I'm back on my feet now, so my goal for 2024 is to be an even better father to my kids and embrace the 30-year-old me. And hey, man, I want to hit this one first, man. I can say that my bro, I'm proud of him. He's really, really making the progression. And one thing about life is when you go through adversity, sometimes New Year resolutions is a beautiful thing because 2023 may have put you in a position where it's like, this went wrong, that went wrong, that went wrong, that went wrong. But it takes you back to square one. So when you start the new year, for one, you're thanking God that you made it to another year. That's the number one thing that you're doing. But then you go on and you take it to the next step and say, okay, I'm embracing the beauty of I came through this storm. Because one thing about it, and I don't mean for us, don't mean to get too religious off topic right now, but I will say this. I'm sure all of your parents have told you what God brings you to, he brings you through. So the number one thing that you do is you continue to keep going, keep grinding, and keep praying and keep elevating, because you will see the improvement from last year and it becomes a testimony, because you'll say June of 2023, I was in a rough spot, but in June of 2024, look at where I'm at now. So I can say that that's a beautiful thing to say right there. And I cannot wait to see what 2024 brings for you.
And one of the misconceptions that we see nowadays is that yes, Jesus blesses, yes, Jesus protects, yes, Jesus covers, and all this stuff, but he also has to strip us. He also has to break us. He also has to bring certain things to us to really test that metal, test the thing that he has put on the inside of us. And that's exactly what 2023 was for you, Tevin. It was a moment for Jesus to really show you who's really for you and who's really not for you. Because one thing, and we tend to forget this at times, Jesus can see further than we can. So you don't think that in 2023, Jesus already seen what your life was going to be in 2024. He already seen what you was going to go through. He already seen who was going to be around you. He already seen all these things that you were going to experience. But he also looked at you in 2023 and said, you know what? This person ain't good for you. Let me remove this person right here. This habit ain't good for you. Okay, let me shift some things around right here. So he already knows what we need and who we need before we even think that we need them. So that's one thing that we have to look at for the new year. It's a new opportunity. It's a new chance. It's new levels, to this. It's new levels. So we just have to realize that, okay, 2023, last year for all of us, I'm pretty sure all of us went through some adversities last year. And this year, we already know it's going to be adversities, but we can look back on last year. You say and say to ourselves, you know what? I did this last year. This year I'm gonna do this. You know, I went through this last year, but I know this year if I do this, I can avoid that. So a new year also comes with new opportunities. And like Ant was saying earlier, it's okay for you to make mistakes because we're not perfect. Nobody on this earth is perfect. Nobody. You're going to make mistakes. It's all about being human. It's all about experiencing life. We all going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, as long as we learn from those mistakes and we continuously go through those avenues to make ourselves better, then we'll reach our goals. But consistency and realization and revelation really has to take part in that.
Facts. And I want to encourage you, Tevin. Also, I was reading, and as I was reading your comment, it made me think about myself. I'm pretty sure at some point, if you have a prayer life, I'm pretty sure you said something to the degree of, you know, God, show me who's for me, or remove the people who's not. I said that same prayer. And let me tell you something about God, man. He gonna answer you. He will answer you. He will strip. And the people who you think are your friends, baby, them the ones he will show you not so. And I know me personally, for the people who I didn't really, think like, oh, them really ain't my people. No, those are the people who showed up for me and who consistently show up for me. And the people who I thought were my riders, like the people who I was going to just be with forever, them was the ones God took away. And it hurt. It hurt very, 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 very badly. So I felt you when you said 2023 broke you down to absolutely nothing, because I've been there. But what I want to tell you is that you're being set up for what God actually has for you. You know what I'm saying? So stay encouraged, be encouraged. I'm glad that you're back on your feet. I'm glad that you didn't give up. I'm glad that you didn't take the mindset of, oh, well, this then, I ain't got no friends. I don't got nobody, because not so. God just removed certain people from your life so that he can bless you in your next season and put you around the people who will really be there for you, will really support you, will really push you to be that better father and that better person, or whatever it is that God will have for you to be. So stay encouraged.
No, 100%. Everybody loves a comeback story. And, everybody experiences hardships, and those are just opportunities to bounce back even stronger. So kudos to you for for being able to do that, especially as a father, and being an example to your kids as well. Down the line, they will, they'll appreciate that for sure.
Amen today. Yeah, y'all were preaching. Y'all almost had me go get a collection plate and hand it to y'all real quick, because y'all did that.
Cash App is $. Now.
All right. Move to this comment. Jar's going on, my guys. One of the good dudes, man. I'm 24 in grad school this year, showing me when you get serious about your goals, them real friends come out just have to embrace it and grow. Man. First of all, let me tell you like this.
Congratulations on grad school.
Congrats.
Yeah, 100%.
Congratulations. Let me tell you, first of all, it speaks volumes for the level that you're trying to go in life, to be 24 and go straight from getting one degree to the next degree, because a lot of folks take a break after that first degree because they're like, man, I've been through this since I was 5 years old. Because people got to understand, this is not just you going to school from 4 years old in pre-K to that age. You're like, man, I want a break. But I'm proud of you for sticking with it. And one thing that life will show you and will continue to show you this year and for the rest of your life, the higher you grow, your circle change, your environment change. You have to embrace it. You have to be willing to accept that your environment is going to change, and be willing to accept that some of the people, like Court said in the previous comment, are not going to be riding with you the whole way that you might have expected, because God may not allow them to be a part of what your next blessing is, because they could be trying to halt that blessing. So ultimately, look at it like this. This step of life, you're going to gain new people. You're going to gain new opportunities. You're going to want the right support system, family, friends, and new people that you network with. All the things that you're going to get tied into in life, all that's going to play a factor into grad school, because you never know. this year you could beat the person that can make you the next multimillionaire. So you never want to shy away from networking opportunities. You never want to shy away from adding new people to your life. Anybody, I'm gonna throw this out here. Y'all know that Drake song, "No New Friends." Do not believe that hype. Do not believe that hype in this thing being an adult. Because when you're on a journey to get better and get greater in life, you're gonna find new people. You're gonna grow with new people. So absolutely proud of you for that, and continue to grow.
Yeah, all facts, bro. All facts. And one thing I would say is that not everybody that's around you congratulates your success.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that again.
Mhm.
Not everyone who is around you celebrates your success.
Keep
As
running that back
long-
one more time. Run that back one. It need to be said 3 times. Say that one more time for us.
Not everyone who is around you congratulates your success. And what I mean by that is, as long as you're drinking from the same pond that they are, they can ride with you. But as soon as you step back and realize, hey, there's another pond over there. Hey, there's another ocean over there. Let me go drink over here. Let me go elevate over here. They don't like you then, because now you have elevated, you have ascended to another level, and they can no longer ride off your success. See, it was all cool when we were drinking from the same pond, but because you decided, hey, I'm not comfortable. Hey, I'm getting too comfortable here. I got to move on. And they wanted you to stay there. Now they don't want you to, they don't want to ride with you no more. And so that's why the most successful people, if you look at all the successful people, their circle is like, they don't have too many people hanging around them, because they know who's for them and they know who's not for them. It's easy to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people when you're not doing anything. But when you're about your business, as the young folks say nowadays, standing on business, your circle is not going to be that big. And your circle, you can't afford for your circle to be big, because the bigger your circle is, the more susceptible you are to be taken advantage of. So take me. I only have a couple of friends. I have Nate, I got Ant, I got Courtney, I have other people. I don't have hundreds of people around me, because I already know some people ain't really for me. They right there, they want to see me fail.
Mhm.
They want to see me. They want to see me fall so they can talk about this. Oh, did you see Ontario do this? Did you see him do that? It's like, and I create this for the news. Like, people nowadays have this news concept, this news mentality. You know, I really don't watch the news like that. I don't know if y'all watch the news like that either, but it seems like on the news they talk more about what's going wrong other than what's going right. And that's how people are. It's more chatter when something negative is going on, but when there's success going on, you don't hear anything. It's just whatever. But as soon as somebody do something wrong, oh, did you see this person? Oh, did you see that person? Did you see that? That's why your circle, when you're standing on business, your circle cannot be big. It won't be big, because at that moment you begin to realize that when you're standing on business, you can't have a whole bunch of people around you. You can't have a whole bunch of leeches. So I'm gonna say this one more time. Not everybody celebrates your success.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters disguised as supporters out here, and it's hard to view them in the proper way. Like Don was saying, like, you know, when you're hanging around certain people, and when your ceiling is the same as theirs, they're perfectly fine. Like, they'll hang out with you all day. They'll feed into your bad habits to a certain degree, and they're just perfectly fine being where they are. But as soon as they realize, it's like clockwork. As soon as they realize that your ceiling is a little bit higher than theirs, that's when the relationship changes, and they're not able to embrace your growth because they know that they can't go with you. And you know, that's not a supporter, that's not a friend, that's not somebody who really cares about you either. So, you got to be really careful about who you allow, who you allow to be in your life, obviously, but then also too, who you allow to be aware of certain things that are happening in your life. Because, as much as you have people who will, pray and, support you from afar, it's like you'll also have individuals who will prey on your downfall too. And you got to be careful out here.
Yep.
My advice is simple: keep people around you who challenge you to be better. If you find a person who, if you're trying to elevate or you're trying to do something, you sharing your goals, and it's always something to say or a little piece of negativity or people planning doubt, get away from those people. Let's normalize severing ties before God have to do it for us. The young man that we were just talking to, the prior comment, Tevin was saying, he found out friends were, let's normalize cutting that off, cutting that tie before God have to do it for us. The sooner you can cut the tie, the sooner you can get to the people who are for you. So now I try to, after learning the hard way several times, I try to keep people around me who challenge me to be a better person. If you're not challenging me to be better, then what are we really doing? Can I really call you a friend? I think that those people are just associates. Those people are just acquaintances, people we know. I am guilty of throwing that word around, primarily because I say it a lot on my own personal podcast. Like, I'm just a friendly person. So I'll say, hey, friend, very loosely, But I'm learning really what that word is, what it means, what it is to be a friend, what it is to have a friend. And I don't have many, but I cherish the ones that I do have. So, again, it's very simple advice. Keep people around you that challenge you to be better. If they're not challenging you to be better, that's not your friend.
Amen to that. And I'm going to throw this out here. Tyreek Johnson said that one thing about a true friend, going to tell you what you don't. Amen.
Every
to
time.
that.
Yeah.
Every time.
Facts, 100%.
And it's not going to be in a negative connotation. It's not going to be in a negative way. It's not going to be, hey, I want to go to school to get this degree. It's not going to be, oh, no, you don't need to do that. No, I don't want to hear that. But that's not what he's saying. Real friends are going to challenge you to make you better. Hey, I want to go to school, but I can't pass this test. Absolutely. Yes, you can pass this test. You can't pass the test because you're not putting in the time to study to pass the test. That's a friend. That's somebody challenging you. You can do it. You can do all things, but you're not applying yourself to get where you need. That's a friend. Those are the type of people you want to keep around you. Those that are going to push you to be better, not keep you from being better.
And those people really, at most of the time, those people already see what you can't see in yourself. And some of the and most of the times we can't see the greatness that's on ourselves because we're surrounded with people that don't have greatness on the inside of them. Like they say, misery loves company. Not just misery, like-mindedness, selfishness, arrogance, pride, all that is they in the same company because like Courtney was saying, the people who's going to challenge you, those are the people that you need to hang around. The people who are higher mentally than you are mentally at that point, they're the ones that you need to be hanging around. But the people that are on the same level as you or below your level, those are not the people that you need to hang around because at that point you've captured yourself. Facts. There's no room for you to grow because you're around people who's on the same level as you.
I heard somebody smart say, I never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, I've heard that. Amen to that.
I've heard that.
I never want to be the smartest person in the room. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I got nobody to learn from. I got no more room for growth. So, and again, we have to always remember, as long as we're living, there's always something to learn. There's always an area to grow. We're responsible for putting ourselves in those spaces. God will open the door. We have to put ourselves in those spaces to continue to grow and learn. I never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Amen to that, baby. Man, to that, and to throw that and to add on to that, what y'all just said, I love the fact that we're hitting about the true friend thing, because the number one thing is the other thing. Sometimes if that friend is telling you and challenging you to what you don't want to hear, they see your greatness in you that you haven't came across yet, like Don said. And one more thing I want to throw before I don't know if Ant want to hit this before we get to the next one, but one thing I want to leave out there is sometimes God speaks through the people around you. Be careful what you hear, because sometimes it isn't them that's speaking, it's
Hmm.
him that's speaking.
Come on, say
Ah,
that.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be, you know, like Courtney was saying, you got to be okay having uncomfortable conversations, even with the people that you love, you know, and care about. Some people shy away from those awkward moments, but that's really where you're able to kind of take a step back and grow from having those uncomfortable conversations, especially when it regards to pushing someone to be better, or you know, a person that you care or love about pushing you to be better. And
Mhm.
you know, that's okay. Um, Sometimes you need to be called out when you're not, you know, walking on the path that you should. And we need to be perfectly fine in doing that for the people that we truly call our friends and loved ones. Like that's what we're here for, is to push each other. And so it's like, if you're not in my life and you know able to push me in the right direction, especially when you see me slipping, like there's a larger issue that we need to discuss at that point. So
And
True.
if
amen.
anything would teach you that, it's being married. Because when you married, that mirror is forever gonna be on you. And I'm still striving to this day to handle the truth, because I used to be one of those ones who tended to shy away from those tough conversations, but I'm starting to embrace them. Starting to embrace them.
Amen. Amen to that. Next comment we got is from Darrell. What's going on, bro? He said 2023 was probably the most peaceful year I've had in a while. That is so great to hear. A lot of self-growth and self-reflecting. I was at my lowest end at the end of 2021 and 2022, and I leaned on my support system and relied on faith. And this is one of my very close friends, and I can say, when I tell y'all, without even going into detail, this brother, I'm proud of him, because what he went through, a lot of folks could not have mentally fought through that thing. And I'm proud of him for being strong. And that's what it's all about. Sometimes that it takes a couple of years to get to that level of peace and tranquility, to go to that next step, because some people think that sometimes that struggle is a couple of months. Sometimes it can be a couple of years to just get you back on the track that you want to get on. And one thing about it, that man above has been covering you, walking every step with you, every step of the way. Because if you weren't built to go through the things you went through in life and overcome those things you went through in life, you would not have been in the position that you are to receive the level of peace that you are at. But that's all I'm going to say on it. I'm going to pass it on over.
Cheers to peace, and do whatever you have to do to continue to protect that. Don't let
exactly.
anybody come in and disrupt that. Keep relying on your faith. Keep your hand in God's hand, and continue to walk on that peaceful path. And that doesn't mean that life won't life again. It will. For as long as we're here, something life is going to life in some way. But one thing that I've learned is that I had to learn the difference between joy and happiness. Right? Things can make you happy. People can make you happy. Joy and peace, those are gifts that come directly from God. So even when things are going wrong in my life, even when, I don't have the best day, or I may not even have the best week, I still got joy on the inside. And so for as long as you keep relying on your faith, you're going to keep that peace. It don't mean that things won't happen, but you're going to remain in that peaceful posture. So kudos to you. I'm so happy to hear that last year was peaceful for you, and I hope that this year brings 2 times the peace for you.
No, absolutely. I mean, money can buy you a lot of things, but peace peace of mind is one thing that money can't get you. Like you can't put a price on it. And so, you know, for you to have achieved that in your life, that's awesome. That's amazing. Um, and you know, I think that it's something that you got to continuously work on, because everything is fluid, everything can change, and so just continuing to put in the work to stay in that place, so that you don't, so you can remain and have that peace in your life that you've gained and worked so hard for, because it doesn't come easy at all.
Yeah. First, Darrell, I'm very happy. I'm proud of you that last year was peaceful for you because everybody's year last year wasn't peaceful.
Mm-mm.
But for you to have that peace, despite of everything that was going on around you, I mean that's a blessing, brother. And just know that you're still here because God got a plan for you, and you just got to keep relying on Him. And if I can go there for a second, um that's what I believe that Jesus is trying to get men into doing, is relying on Him, because we as men sometimes, well not sometimes, most of the times, because of the stigma that has been placed on us since birth. Oh, you the man, you got to provide, you got to protect, you got to do everything, you got to do this. And it's like at the end of the day, we cannot do anything without Jesus. We all cannot do anything without Jesus. And that for me was an eye opener for me to say, you know what, even though I'm a man, I don't have to do this by myself. Jesus said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. That means that no matter where you find yourself in your life, no matter who turns their backs on you, no matter what obstacles you face, I will still be there for you. And it is Jesus' desire for us to rely on Him, because He would never saved us if He never had a plan for us. It was His plan the whole time for us to rely on Him, because it wasn't us that didn't save ourselves, can't save ourselves, and would never save ourselves. Everything relies in Jesus. Everything relies in Him. And I don't think some people really know the importance of having Him as a foundation, because you can build your foundation on money. You can build your foundation on your job. You can build your foundation on your career. But at the end of the day, they're going to become a point to where those things are going to crumble. Those things are not going to be here anymore. And the only thing you're going to be left with is you. But when you set Jesus as your foundation, it will never crumble. It will never shake. It will always be there. No matter if you bend, fall, whatever it may be, Jesus is always there for you to hang on to, because He knows that we cannot do it by ourselves. We wasn't designed to do life by ourselves. We need Him every minute, every second, every hour. We need Him. So the fact that you relied on your faith, you leaned on that, it's a blessing, because you could have given up. You could have turned around. You know what, man, God, you left me out here by myself, man. I'm gone. But you stood on business. You stood on your faith. And that's the thing. What are you going to stand on? What thing are you standing on is solid? Is the thing that you're standing on is solid, or does it crumble after every obstacle, after everything? So for that, Darrell, I'm proud of you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And like Courtney said, expect more peace this year. Expect more peace.
Hey man, that was beautiful. All three of y'all, man, that was awesome, man. He also commented and said the New Year, New Me concept is about growth and positive change. Be realistic, stay committed, and be kind to yourself throughout the process. Don't hesitate to lean on your support system. Well, absolutely, I can truly say that is one of the beautiful things and I gotta add to what Don just said about us as men. Sometimes as men, we will sit there and try to take it on by ourselves, and sometimes we are like, man, we can't be emotional and all that good stuff. Man, let me tell you like this. The strongest men can express when they are not okay, when they are okay. All those things are key, because sometimes you need somebody to come say, man, I'm proud of you, man. Keep going, man. I don't know what you're going through right now. Get back up and keep running this race. Same thing for women. Sometimes you need that sister to come in and say, sis, I see you going through this. Sometimes pick yourself back up and keep running that race, because ultimately, sometimes you may not get that support from the ultimate people that you want it from. Sometimes it could be an outside source to come in and say, look, get back on that race. And that could be the best thing that happened to you in your life. So the beauty of the New Year newbie concept, and I also agree with this, is you see sometimes you go through new steps, new journeys into your life that may not have been there for you last year. And you have to apply that going forward. You have to make sure that while you're growing, you stay positive. Everything that sometimes is a level of growth is not negative, or don't be nervous about it. Don't shy away from it, because sometimes your blessings are right around the corner and it could cause you to get uncomfortable on your journey to get to that. So I do agree with this 100%. Never hesitate to lean on the people around you, and also never look. Because I'm going to throw this out here, and this is on a personal note, and Don gonna be able to relate to this. This started as the two of us 3 years ago, and now we got Court and Ant apart. They came into the fold with us last year, and look at what we're able to come together as the Fab Four to do for everyone. So you never know what at the start of the year, how things could turn into a beautiful thing. Because I said to him, and I'm gonna say this to both of them on air, I said to Don before Yates stepped on here, I said, man, we came a long way, and they've brought even better life to this group. So you never know, and this is a personal testament so everyone can see on here. You never know where you could be at this stage next year. So keep that in mind.
Yep. Exactly, man. Exactly. When he told me that, I said, you know what, man, we have come a long way. Because, you know, even now I've told him, I was at a point to where I said, you know what, man, I don't want to do this no more, man. I just feel like packing it in. But God said no. Nate said no. Everybody said no. Just stick with it. Stick with it. The help is going to come. And my God. So I thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all. Love y'all to death, man.
I want to say shout out to Black men. We love you. I'm a woman, so I can't relate. But what I can say is, as a Black woman, we want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to support you, to tell you that we love you, we honor you, and we need you, man. Like, we need you. So I say we need each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'd never be afraid to, if you're down, say you're down. You know what I'm saying? If you need a shoulder, say I need a shoulder. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do everything we can on our end to support that, because you are very much needed. You really are. So shout out to y'all. And yeah, shout out to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, you know, going back to talking about the podcast, I'm excited and always like ready to have these conversations with y'all. Appreciate the time and, you know, the bond that we built already and that we're continuing to build. One thing that he said that I wanted to highlight real quick is just being realistic. Like, I think being realistic at the beginning when you're actually putting a goal together, it goes a long way in whether that's that goal, whether you're going to be successful in meeting that goal or not. You know, some people, you know, especially when it comes to being healthy, it's like, oh man, I want to be in the gym, you know, 5 days a week, and you can't go from cold turkey to being in the gym. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but going from not being in the gym at all to being in the gym 5 weeks, that's a stretch goal.
You can say that again.
So maybe make it like, hey, I'm gonna get in there at least twice this week, or I'm gonna get in there at least 3 times this week. Yeah. Because then, you know, when you have the outlandish goal and you don't hit it, like, oh man, I want to lose, you know, I want to lose 30 pounds in the first month of the year. And it's like, you can do it, but you know, like, you just have to be super diligent in order to meet a goal like that. And then if you don't hit it, then you set yourself back even more, because you're more liable to be defeated because you didn't hit it and, you know, kind of, you know, fall off of your path of what you're trying to do. So just be careful, be realistic with the goal that you're putting in place, and just make sure that it's something that you can actually include in your life. And it's not like really difficult to do that. So,
and one part of being realistic is you have to set goals that you know you can accomplish. Not compare yourself to what somebody else is doing.
Exactly.
Don't you let social media fool you. Go out here that you ain't been in the gym for 6 months and then all of a sudden you ready to go run a 4K. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not ready for that yet. Do what Ant just said. Start off slow. Start off slow. You don't have to chase what somebody else is chasing. Only go after the goals that you know and only you know you can accomplish at that moment. I'm not saying that you can't run a 4K, but I'm saying you got to work yourself up. It's a process. You can't just not go to the gym for 6 months and wake up. You know what? I'm about to go run this 4K. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And I see that so many times. I see that so many times in this society is that people go on social media, see what somebody else is doing, and then they go out here and try to mimic what they're doing. And then when it fails, they looking at it, man, like, why did that happen to me?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to walk in somebody else's shoes. Your two shoes, it's the only shoes that you need to be concerned with. Don't be out here trying to wear somebody else's shoes. You're not meant to wear those shoes. Only wear the shoes that you can. Don't go out here knowing that you're a size 8, trying to fit into a size 5, trying to wear a size 10. Don't do that. Just take your size 8, live your life.
Facts.
Simple.
Facts. So y'all, I'm about to shake it up. I'm about to put y'all on the spot real quick.
Uh-oh.
Because I know we getting ready to wind this thing down. But I mean, you know, the name of the episode is New Year Who Dis. So I mean, we gotta put it out there. We knew we were gonna be talking about New Year's and resolutions and all of that stuff. So I want to ask, and I want to challenge everybody who's watching. If you want to drop in the comments, please feel free to do that. But I want us to talk about individually, who are we? Who are we this year? What is the one resolution that we're really gonna zone in on? So who are you, and what's the one resolution that you have for yourself this year, the biggest one? And I mean, I'll finish or I'll start, whichever one y'all want me to do.
I'm not kidding y'all. Look, that is literally my first question. My first question.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That was literally my first question that I wrote down before the. Wow.
Yo, see, that's crazy.
We on one accord. See?
Yeah.
We on one accord. Yeah. But when I start thinking about this topic, New Year Who Dis, it's like, okay, who dis? Who are you? And you know, if I could speak personally, I think that this year so far has taught me that I'm strong, and sometimes in life, I didn't feel as strong. I didn't feel courageous. You know, I didn't feel like, you know, I was worth all the good things that God had for me. But this year, he has really opened my eyes and said, you know what? You are my child. You are my son. I created you for greatness. And now I'm walking into that greatness. I'm walking into that strength. And I've learned that I don't have to do it by myself. I got God. I got people around me that cares for me, that loves me. I got Jen. She loves me. She cares for me, even though when we do have those tough conversations, I'd be like, why she gotta come at me so hard? But then when I sit back and think about it, I say, you know what, she is right. You know, she right. So I've learned this year that it's okay to have those tough conversations. It's okay to have that mirror on me, because we as people, I mean, if we are let's be real for a sec. We don't want everybody telling us the truth all the time. Like we could just sit here and say, oh, I love the truth. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, let's be like, no, you don't. Like, come on. Because the truth hurts. The truth hurts, but the truth, as it says in the word, the truth has set you free. And so the truth for me this year so far has set me free, and it's really, you know, taught me to accept and embrace who I am. So I'm learning to be me. I'm learning to be me. My old goofy, funny, laid back self.
Nate, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Okay, I guess I'll go real quick. I guess I say where I'm at is finally, I'm kind of getting tired of what Don said, embracing the great skills that I have. Because one thing that I can say recently, I had a birthday a couple weeks ago. So
happy birthday!
Thank you. So a couple of weeks ago, getting a lot of the messages like, man, you make an impact on my life. A lot of the positive things you say, positive words that you say, you know, in previous years, it was one of those things where it's like I'm working towards getting into that particular field of making an impact on the world, making an impact on people. But I think this year is the year where I'm actually embracing that I can make an impact in some capacity. Because one thing that I can say, my resolution is before this school year is, excuse me, not school, before the year 2024 is out, I would like to be stepping into a actual school building because I work in the school system, but we are in and out of school. I actually want to be in a school, getting the opportunity to work directly with some kids and make an impact on their lives. Because when you see the kids, they look up to you. They be happy to see you. They're happy to communicate with you and conversate with you. Sometimes it could be the biggest and most positive moment they have throughout the day. So, and a lot of teachers, when you go into these schools, they say we need more men, we need more young men like yourself. So one of the goals I can say I set for myself before this year is over with, to either be in a school, being able to impact young students or young children, or be working towards getting in there, because I think ultimately that's where God's called me to be at.
Yeah, for me, like last year was pretty rough. Like I experienced a lot of loss and loved ones and family members, and it just puts you in a negative like mind frame or mindset, and that negativity, like those negative feelings, can impact other parts of your life. And so for me, it's like just not allowing that to keep me from um, impacting my life in a negative way, and also just like loving myself more, being more accepting of myself, um, and just being the best version of myself. I know, Don was, talking about that. So just like echoing that sentiment. And it's sometimes it's difficult with everything that happens in life and like everything that's going on, like you get in your head and that keeps you from being the best version of yourself, unfortunately. And so just not trying my best not to allow that to happen, which is difficult, but if you put in the work, I feel like it's definitely something that you can do. So.
That's what's up. Well, I'm here for all of that. I guess I'll wrap up on mine, but I am healing. I am resting in the recovery room. I have survived the surgery of life. And for a lot of years, I have lived in survival mode. And so this year, my resolution is to rest in recovery. I survived. I survived. I can come out of survival mode. I heard a really awesome man of God preaching not too long ago, and he was talking about, being in the ICU room. But when you come out of surgery or ICU, you go into recovery, right? And so you survive. You survive. So my resolution for this year is to not live in survival mode. Come out of survival mode. I'm always swinging and fighting and defensive and guard up, and I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. I want to rest in recovery. I'm healing, and that's my posture until I'm healed. So my goal is, when we are celebrating our 1 year of the podcast, my goal is to be able to come back to say, in this year I'm healed, and I'm moving into whatever the next phase looks like. So that's where I am. That's where I'm at. That's who I am.
I mean, there's a lot of people like walking out here are operating from a place of hurt, and hurt people, and that's just something that it's a tale as old as time, unfortunately. So people really taking the time to heal from those wounds that they've experienced throughout life is extremely important, just so they don't put that same hurt on other people that they care about. So that's a really good word for it.
All right, and y'all, I've got one last comment I want to hit before we get up out of here. And it is from last comment from Darrell. He said, 2024, I want to start back living in faith for real. I've gotten away from that over the years, so I want to get back to that, just to have that solid foundation in my life. Let me say this, and I know all of y'all that grew up in the church, you never thought when you heard this statement, I know y'all know where I'm going with this, that it would apply, but as you get older, you understand that faith without works is dead.
Dead.
You heard this statement a lot when you were younger. You didn't grasp it until you became an adult, a man or a woman, and you start going through your own obstacles in life. You start to realize that sometimes faith is going to keep you going when nothing else will. Sometimes your faith got to keep you pushing, because if that doubt gets into your head good enough, it'll halt where you want to go. But that faith will have you running through a brick wall that you didn't even know that you could run through. But you have to make sure you continue to keep that. And me and Don, a couple of years back, actually touched on the faith without works conversation. So that's a beautiful thing, brother. And I encourage you and everyone that's tuned in and that's watched, that's on the show with us and everything. Make sure that your faith is solid, because that's going to keep you pushing when nothing else is going to have you going. I promise you that faith is going to be the thing that's going to take you to the next level in life.
And one thing to realize is that no matter where you are in your faith life right now, it's not too late. Like, while you still have breath in your body, while you still have an opportunity, you can work on that foundation. And if you don't know how to work on your foundation, ask God. Ask him. As a matter of fact, open up his word. They'll tell you right there how to build on that foundation.
Boy, I thought you were finna open up the doors of the church. Boy, I thought I finna start singing, "Come to Jesus, baby." I thought you were finna open up the doors of the church. My God.
I will go run through the screen.
Y'all too much, man. I love y'all. No opening the doors tonight. Maybe
I
another
thought
night.
I thought this was finna be the invitation.
But in all seriousness, man, Jesus, he has his arms open right now. And if it does sound like I'm about to open the doors, Jesus.
I'm telling
Come on, Pastor.
I'm about to play the soft music.
I know I'm about to find that church music.
Hey, tonight, today is your day to get back in the good grace. I mean, you already in his good graces. I mean, there's nothing we can do, there's nothing we can say that would ever separate us from his love. I mean, that's what the word says. Nothing should separate us from the love of God. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he knows that you want to build on that foundation, and he's gonna give you the means to do it. He already given you life. So take that life, build on that foundation, just be consistent with it. Not saying it's going to be easy, because there's going to be some days where you're going to be tired. You ain't going to feel like praying. You ain't going to feel like reading your word. And even if you don't do it that day, don't beat yourself up for it. Just say, you know what? I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, Lord, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So just continue to build on that foundation, brother. However way you can, man. I'm just going to say that right there, not to start preaching. I'm gonna keep it short tonight.
He just said, "Bless y'all." I think y'all both got a chance to hit about. Didn't you coordinate?
What?
Did y'all get a chance to respond to that comment?
Oh no!
I really didn't have any.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I was just gonna do the congregational hymn, because I thought Don would open the door. I already sang. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was the perfect way to close it out.
That was it. What more can you say?
That is true. That is true.
What can you add?
Y'all are funny, man. Y'all are too funny.
That is true. That is how the church ended right there. That's how the church ended. Everybody head out the door.
Amen.
But
go ahead and go to eat.
Yeah. Gotta go hug about 20 folks on the way out to church.
We don't eat on Sundays. No eating on Sundays.
But yeah, y'all, man, this was a great show. We appreciate y'all in the comments. This was the first show of the year, man. Y'all really brought it for us. We really appreciate y'all having taking out an hour of your time to be there with us because we really appreciate it. And
Katie,
hey, shout out to all of y'all that kept hitting us with the Thursday. I know y'all love the promo. So y'all got anything else to say? Man, shout out to Court. Court made it. Court got us all together. She said,
You're welcome.
Court got in that kitchen and she cooked.
Yeah, she's amazing for what she does.
Yes.
Well, no, just thank y'all, everybody that's tuning in. You know, there really is no platform without your participation. So thank all y'all.
For sure. Thank you so much. Who said? Did somebody say Thursday?
that's right.
Thank y'all so much. So much for your support. Of course, thank you, Don and Nate and Ant, for allowing me to even be on here with y'all.
Oh, man.
I count it an
Pleasure's all
honor
ours.
to be the only woman in the room. I feel so blessed, man. I'm blessed to be connected to each of you. Y'all teach me something every day, and I'm excited already for
Yes.
next month's
Next
show.
time.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really excited. I can't wait. Thank you to the audience, y'all. Thank you for your support, for tuning in, hanging with your girl and your guys. And yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait to see y'all next time.
Oh yeah. Just to tag along with what Anna Court just said. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Y'all the ones that make the show. It's not us, it's y'all that make this show great and what it is. And even when I told Nate after the show, I said, he threw it back up to me about me wanting to get a female's perspective on our topics. And Lord led me to reach out to Courtney, and I just thank God that I was obedient to follow his voice. And so I had a blast on tonight. Tonight was a great show, great one show of many great shows. And I appreciate all you guys. I really do. And gals. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, tell somebody that of the great things that we're doing here at the King's Court Podcast, because 2024 is going to be a year. It's going to be a year that we're going to thrive. And I'm not just talking about the four of us. I'm talking about each and every person that has breath, that's going to go out here and be great. We all have an opportunity to be great. So thank God thanking everybody on tonight, for this amazing show. God bless all of y'all.
Amen. On that note, we're going to wrap it up until the next show. This has been the King's Court New Year Who This. And Court, what day is it today?
Thursday.
All right. I'll see y'all later.